Hello, and welcome back to Laying It Out. I'm your host, Scotty Dempsey.
I am, unfortunately, Chelsea Pockets.
Off to a good start.
So, if for half of our listeners that seem to watch on YouTube, you'll notice that we are not going to have YouTube today. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough 2 years. And as you know, I record from my bedroom, and my bed is currently piled with clothes that I don't want you to see. And also, I don't have the energy today. Last night, I got home from Frisbee at 11:30 p.m. I screamed to myself in my car for a solid 5 minutes, and then got 5 hours of sleep. So today's a great day. And on that depressing note, yeah.
We've got a great episode lined up for you guys today.
I'm going to put on my happy face and record today. Because legit, though, I love Frisbee, and I'm excited to talk about Frisbee.
Yes.
So in our postseason kind of soiree episode, we did want to touch on Fall League a bit, because that's the only Frisbee that Scotty's been doing recently, and it makes me happy.
You're going to roast me for now playing 2 different Fall Leagues?
You
roasted me in the last episode.
I also played 2 different Fall Leagues, and I'm coaching
I know. Okay, so yeah, you do have to keep one-upping me, because in the last episode, you roasted me for only playing 1 because you were playing 2. So then I joined another Fall League. Everyone on my team was like, oh, like my club team. I didn't play club, right? But like now they just tell people that I played with them. But
you're their adoptive.
I'm an honorary member, right? Yes, exactly. And everyone's like, no, you're a practice player. I was like, I didn't go to a practice.
But you
I just showed up at a tournament.
You got that email that said that you're a practice player, so it's official.
Yes, it is official. Anyway, so I've been hanging out with them, which is fun. And then I showed up to the second Fall League that I signed up, and they were like, oh, who bullied you into doing this? And I was like, Pockets Online. She did this to me. And everyone was like, we need to meet her. And I was like, oh, you will soon enough.
At some point, whenever I can gather enough free time to go to New York City again.
I know, right? Free time is a myth.
Yeah, no, speaking of me one-upping you, I may have one-upped you too far. And now I have 4 out of 5 weeknights. I am out past 11 doing something Frisbee related. And it's starting to wear on my mental well-being.
You've definitely girl bossed too close to the sun.
But it's okay. I'm like still having a lot of fun, like in the moment. I'm having a great time. Mm-hmm. But then when I sometimes drive like an hour after that moment, I just sit in my tired, stressed out mind, and I'm like, oh, what have I done to myself? I'm just waiting for like Christmas at this point. And then once the spring starts, I'm going to take on less of a load. So at least there's
that's a good
end
call.
in sight. Not going to do 2 Fall Leagues.
I'm a little bit on the opposite end of that with you. I mean, I am doing 2 Fall Leagues, but one's on a Friday night, and then we go to a bar after, and it's chill. And then the other's on a Saturday afternoon in Central Park, and that's the one that Charlie's at also. And except he hasn't been there, I'm assuming, because he's been reporting for Ulti World on regionals. But I do those on, like, that's basically my weekends. And, you know, how we were saying that Frisbee is absorbing our lives is I kind of only hang out with Frisbee people at the moment, but I'm not complaining because I like everyone a lot. So I'm very happy to hang out with them all the time. But then during the week, I actually also have plans every night of the week, because it's like, oh, okay, like we're going to go out and do this. Like, we're going to get happy hour. We're going to watch Bachelor in Paradise. And my mom texts me and is like, hey, there's some family friend from Hawaii that's like in the city that like the last time she saw you, you were a bald baby, but now she wants to see you and like take you out to dinner. And I'm like, I don't know what this person looks like, but that's what I'm doing tonight is I have to go get dinner with someone that I have never spoken an English word to. So that's fun for me.
Wow.
I definitely spoke baby gobbledygook to her. We were in Hawaii and we knew them, but like, I don't know how they tracked my mother down. And my mom was like, yeah, no, go hit up Fiona in the city.
I would not be able to do that. Like, I went to a wedding with my boyfriend, and I met a lot of his family. And like, he and I are like a little socially awkward. It's fine. But we were like so weird the entire time. Even though it was his family, it was like his extended family. And it was just like, gosh, we're like, we can't talk to adults because we're just, we don't know how to function. So I can't imagine like going out to a one-on-one dinner with a woman that you haven't met since you were in diapers.
And her daughter.
Okay.
Who's also my age-ish. And actually, another one of our Hawaii, you know Maeve, but our listeners don't. One of my Hawaii family friends from when my family lived in Hawaii, because like, tragic backstory. My family lived in Hawaii for 4 years
Not
when I was
tragic.
a baby. And not tragic at all. So this other Hawaii family friend who's like my like first, me and my twin sister's first ever friend. So she's our original triplet, is also coming to dinner with us. So it's like, at least I have it's not like super awkward, but like, at least I'm interesting enough that I can like maintain a conversation and have someone else pay for my dinner.
You do have a podcast, so you can speak to people. I have a podcast and I can't. I don't know. It doesn't correlate. Whatever. It's fine. But after that tangent, yes, you're doing 2 fall leagues. I'm doing 2 fall leagues. In an update from fall league yesterday, one of my teammates / fall league captain, Laura, she was listening to our last episode, and she's like, it's so weird that you're talking about things that I'm participating in. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
But she brought up my brother again. And I wanted to give some brother first time playing Frisbee updates to the listeners. One, he got a layout score the other week, which is pretty cool.
Snaps for that.
He had to lay out because he doesn't know how to read a disc yet, but he still laid out, and that's pretty cool. And I don't do that. So he also...
Was it like a safe layout too? Like less of a flop than I do?
Oh, definitely less of a flop than you. For people that don't know, Scotti fully scorpions when she lays out, and it's kind of concerning. No,
I have a personal update on that, which we will get to.
Ooh. But no, he like kind of landed on his side a bit.
Okay.
But no, it was pretty safe. I was surprised that he did it because he's skinnier and more frail than I am. So pretty good. And he's doing excellent at handler defense. He, I don't think he understands how to cut still. And he refuses to learn a flick. Like, we will get there 30 minutes before league starts to throw. And I'm like, oh, just come on, throw a flick, throw a flick. And he'll stand there for like a full minute adjusting his grip. And then at the last minute, he'll be like, no, backhand again. It's just the most frustrating thing.
That's really funny.
But yeah, refuses.
He's killing it.
He's doing a good job, but he's refusing to like improve in the things that he wants to improve, or that I want him to improve on. And he's just kind of like balling out where he can, because he's also like tall. He's tall and fast. So he's just kind of doing his tall, fast boy thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, all right. What's your layout story on the Laying It Out podcast? Have you improved your form?
Yes, I have.
Great.
So, at Fall League last weekend, the way that the Fall League that I play in on Saturdays is structured is it's like there are 6 teams and then there are 3 games. So it's like noon to 1:30, 1:30 to 3 to like 4:35-ish, so 90 minutes. And so that it's 7v7, it's mixed. It's a ton of fun. Everyone's there like to chill, which I was like, wow, chill, fun, casual Frisbee. This is not what I'm used to after a very intense college ultimate experience. But like, it's like, oh, go on when you want, like go off when you want, like yada yada. It's a good time. And like I mentioned, there's an AUDL player on my team, which is super fun because they usually kind of, I don't know if they are playing at their top level or if it's just the fact that like they can't carry the team on their own, but it's like they're so fun to have on the team. Also, like our team has like great vibes. And anyway, so we were it was the last point and we were down like a ton because we were not playing well, and the other team was like super trying to dunk on us. They were running a zone. Like, I know some of the people on that team listen to this podcast, and I'm absolutely gonna roast you for running a zone in Mud League. Why? Anyway, so we've been throwing a hoe against them, and we were kind of like swinging the disc back and forth because I usually handle, and I laid out to catch like a crazy like break throw that someone threw that was not really in my grasp, and it was a good layout.
Hey.
I did it properly, and like I heard the sideline like freaking out, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I, according to everyone else on my team, quarterbacked the point. So
Nice.
essentially what I'm telling everyone is I played probably the best point of my entire Frisbee career at Mud League while like violently hungover.
So for people who aren't in the New York City Ultimate community, what is Mud League?
It's Manhattan Ultimate Disc.
Oh,
so
is it just like
it's the fall like or the league pickup series?
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a lower level because you said that you shouldn't be playing Zone in Mud League. I am in favor of playing Zone at League as long as the level of play allows for it, but I don't know.
We had some players that were like newer to Ultimate.
Okay,
so they were struggling against the Zone. And the other team all knew what they were doing. And I was like, come on.
Yeah, no, that's a little bit of a no-no. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, and then I was going to relate off of it because I need to relate everything you say to myself. I had a moment at Fall League yesterday, and this is the embarrassing moment that I was telling you about or mentioned to you earlier, where like I felt like a person, my defender behind me. So like I quickly like sped up and grabbed the disc like right as she was ramming into me, and I felt so cool about it because I was like, yeah, fuck you, this is my disc. And then I turn around, no mark on me, turf a backhand into the ground. And I got so pissed off, I just squatted down to the ground. I dug my fingers into the grass and just ripped up 2 fistfuls of dirt, and I was like, fuck.
Spirit of the game, baby.
I was so pissed off. You see, like, I think when it comes to, like, other people, I have great spirit. But when I do something shit, I get so pissed off at myself, and I'm just like, damn shit, motherfucker. I have, like, such a bad, dirty mouth when I play Ultimate and fuck something up. Like, oh, I had so many fuck-ups at League yesterday. And I was just like, ooh.
We should have Lindsay, like, bleep that whole bit out. So, well, you know, that's just when you call injury.
No. No, the worst thing was we started with 3 women matching players in a 2. Well, it's 2-5 or 3-4, just because the Lehigh Valley Ultimate League, we generally have like less women in the area. So it was a 2-5 or 3-4 with the Gen Zone, and we started with 3 women matching players. We got a 4th, and then one of the original 3 hurt their quad. So if I called injury, someone who just played 2 points in a row would have to come on and then power through the 3rd point. So it wasn't in the cards for us. But yeah.
Yeah. Is it really a Frisbee league if you're not constantly desperate for women matching players?
My other Fall League team for PATA, we're the Air Buddies, and we have a lot of cute little like dog-related things. We usually always are good on the women matching players, which is nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had on Fall League.
Fall League update, yeah. I mean, I've just been like so busy, man. Like, it's crazy. People were like, oh yeah, no, you gotta get to the city for like summer in the city. It's so like busy and there's so much fun stuff to do. No, the fall has been far more busy, and it's like, oh, woe is me, you know, like I get to have fun and hang out with my friends and do all this cool stuff. And like I was walking home from Starbucks yesterday, and I like had gotten myself a pumpkin spice latte because I love them. And I got converted to Starbucks because the Dunkin' near me has scorned me too many times. So my finances are my financial decisions are questionable because I know it's the first one to always cut. But you know what? I like it. It tastes good. And I was like walking down the street and I had to like stop to cross the street. And I was kind of like, damn, like I'm really happy with my life right now. Like everything's going like really nice, like really well. And like that was a good feeling. And part of it I think definitely is because I'm like back to Frisbee. Like
yeah. You'd be surprised how like after regionals, And after like hanging out with my team in the hotel, I had to sit through a week of work and I just wanted to die. I was like, damn, I had so much fun. Like it stole serotonin from later in the week. Like how they say like drinking is stealing your happiness from the next day because you're hangover. Like that's just how regionals weekend felt. It was like too much fun.
And that's why we're having our postseason special.
Yeah, where we just get sad.
A retrospective.
All right. So we've talked enough about Fall League in our transition because, again, people tell us they're going to give us ads. And then they don't. We're just going to have little tidbits. What's his name? There's a comedian, Seth Meyers. You know him, the SNL guy?
Yeah.
So he has been embracing the YouTube side of late night comedy now that they like don't have audiences. I know how to speak. And he does this segment where he does like corrections from previous episodes. He has some fun name for it. I forget what it is. But like people in the YouTube comments and just people in general commenting on the internet, you know how nitpicky they can get.
Yeah.
We could do like a corrections segment where
we're going to need that.
Yeah, because the amount of times that you and I misspeak.
So for our corrections segment.
Yes, for our corrections segment. Formal apology for mixing up the Metro East region and the Northeast region. I don't know why we did that, but we were just talking about like how Mid-Atlantic and Northeast are really competitive, and we accidentally said Metro East, and our editor kindly pinged us that we were hilariously wrong. I think is the word that was used.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what was said. So we did draw up a YouTuber Notes app apology, but then no one else called us out on it.
Yeah.
So we didn't tweet it. We forgot to tweet it. We meant no harm or offense to anyone. We're both very, very stupid and somehow have a podcast where we get to say the wrong things on the internet. And luckily we have people looking out for us to correct us.
Well, I think part of our charm is that we are lovable idiots. Two young gals that are learning. What's our tagline?
We're stumbling our way through Ultimate Frisbee together.
Yes. So, we're meeting what we delivered. Okay.
We are meeting expectations.
That's our tidbit. That's our correction segment as we're using as a segue. Our second part of the Postseason Activities podcast. It's not activities. You came up with a better word. Soiree.
Postseason special.
We wanted to talk about partying with your club team. Because if you were like me, and there was a funky little regionals format where if you did poorly enough on Saturday, you don't get to play at all on Sunday.
How did you do at regionals?
We held seed.
Nice.
Don't look up what the seed was, but we held seed. Yeah, but because of that, we just like partied a lot as a team. A lot. We like partied in our hotel room Saturday night with the team, and then woke up late the next day and watched like the AMP Space Heater game, and that was like a great way to end regionals. But we wanted to talk about partying with your club team, the pros and cons. Scotty's been doing that a lot lately.
Call me out, why don't you? Yeah, I mean, this is a relevant episode because I'm actually going on a retreat to the Poconos with my club team this weekend. So we leave tomorrow because we were filming this on Thursday.
Yes.
And this episode is coming out on next Thursday. So
maybe we'll see.
I'll be a week out of that adventure. But, you know, it's just all a part of like learning to be an adult, is learning how to, what you want out of a social life and like, you know, what that entails. And that's part of, and a good way to have a social life is to do that with your club team. So I have been doing a lot of that. We watch Bachelor in Paradise like every week. It just ended, and I believe we're going to start watching The Bachelorette. The guys that host it like don't want to watch The Bachelorette, and we like don't know if we want to roast them for that or not. But
would they also watch The Bachelor?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, shit on them for that. This is me
Okay.
publicly calling them out. Next time in New York City, I don't know, I'll do something. I'm gonna hurt them. Emotionally, physically, we'll see.
Great. You're gonna be a hit. I'll bring you to some function and you're just gonna beat everyone up. Can't wait.
Not everyone, just
the people that deserve it. Yeah, so we hang out like a lot, and that kind of became my social life very quickly over the past month-ish. And it's been great. I've been loving it. Like, we made brunch together at someone's apartment last weekend and like watched Bachelor in Paradise, and it's like all sorts of fun stuff, but Pockets might have some other
Oh yeah,
cons,
well,
I don't
I
know.
wanted to talk about like the pros and cons because you and I
Yes.
are both two youngish people, and it's a little daunting to be like a 21-year-old and suddenly you're like partying and hanging out with like a bunch of adults.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
And especially after college, and you're like, oh, everyone was like, well, for me, it's like everyone in college was like in my business, and now everyone has their own business and they don't really care about what I'm up to. And I'm like, oh, word, this is kind of nice. But also, like, how do I interact and relate to people that are 10-ish years older than me?
Well, I have a complaint about someone on my club team. They made the while we were hanging out in the hotel room Saturday of regionals, someone made the reference like don't cross the streams. Do you know what that's from?
Yes.
Do you know what's it from?
Oh, wait, it's from something?
Yeah.
Never mind. No, I don't.
All right. Well, Scotty's proving me wrong here. But it was like one of the older guys and they're like, "Don't cross the streams." I forget why. But he was like, "Oh, I bet none of you kids being the 21 to 25-year-olds in the corner. He's like, "I bet none of you kids get that reference." I'm like, "Fuck you. That's Ghostbusters. Like, I watched Ghostbusters." Sorry that your personality is being old.
Call out post.
No, I love that player, but also like I know what Ghostbusters is.
Pockets is offended.
I'm a little offended. But yeah, I think one of the like best things about having those team parties is you just get on a deeper connection level with your teammates. And we were kind of talking about this: better chemistry off the field equals better chemistry on the field.
Absolutely.
Because if you like the people that you're playing with, you're gonna play better. If you don't like the people that you're playing with, there's gonna be those like minor little things in the back of your mind, like, oh, I don't really want to throw to them. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they never throw to me. They must hate me. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, we're having flashbacks to college ultimate.
Yeah. That's also one of the pros, I think, of specifically partying with your club team. Going from college to club, like it is like a more mature, healthier, I mean, it depends on the team, but like healthier partying environment where you're not like putting back 10 natties and like,
yeah, because even like the word like partying is that implies something. It's just like socializing.
Yeah, when I
like
say
hanging out and spending time.
When my club team was partying Saturday, I brought my Switch. We were playing a bunch of Mario Kart and just like sip beers. Some dude brought his Oculus, which was really cool. So we were making fun of people like playing the Beat Saber game and dancing awkwardly. We were playing like little card drinking games. It wasn't like we were like raging, putting balls in cups, like slamming through tables.
College.
We weren't blasting
The longer
music.
the longer I'm out of college, the more I realize I do not miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's fun, all you college listeners out there. It's fun while you're in it.
Absorb it. Yeah, for sure.
But, like, that's definitely, like, a lifestyle for the 18 to 22-year-olds. I think once I turned 21, like, life, like, I physically woke up in pain some days.
Yes. Yes. I love how we're talking about how we're old, but we're not old at
We're
all.
old, but we're not old. Well, if you think... Also, just, like, human existence, as we've evolved... we sit a lot more. Like, our bodies weren't made for just like sitting around all day And then suddenly for a few hours you get really drunk and run around and do whatever drunk people do. It's just tough. And alcohol is literally poison.
Yes.
Like, I love it, but we're hurting ourselves, and at some point it's going to catch up with us. But yeah, those are the pros, like building that relationship with your club team, just having fun, building that chemistry on the field, and then also just like still keeping that Frisbee environment part of your social life, but as it grows up with you.
Well, also, like, it does make it easier to find, like, leagues and pickup and this and that for after, because then they're your friends and they're like, hey, I thought of you because I wanted to include you in, like, I'm doing this Frisbee thing. Like, I don't want to go alone. Or, like, I thought you might like it. So it's a great way to find more opportunities to play Frisbee, too.
Yeah. You get even just leagues, like party tournaments, whatever, those fun, like, one-off hat days. Like, that's how you get in. That's how you form connections.
Yeah.
Some of the cons, you brought this one up that I wasn't even thinking about. Like, it makes it hard if you were to ever, like, leave your team. Like, personally, me, I absolutely love Peep Show and all the people on it. But it is an hour drive from where I currently live. And if I were to ever move to, like, be with my boyfriend in New Jersey, I definitely can't make that drive then. And I'd have to find another team, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, changing teams is not really, like, on my agenda or anything. I mean, did I really play on this team this year? Who knows? But, like, I'm sure that, like, once I'm back in shape and I have more confidence and I know my way around the city and I'm more established, like, I'll probably go to a bunch of different tryouts for, like, all sorts of mixed teams. Like, maybe I'll go to some women's teams tryouts. Like, I don't know. We're going to see where next summer takes me. And, like, if I got a roster spot or even a practice player spot on, like, a higher level team, like, would I take it? Like, those are just things to think about, because now I'm like, this team has become my social life. And, like, what if that changes? I don't think that it would, because it would still be in the same area geographically. And, like, they like to hang out with me. So even if I was playing a different team, like, we'd still hang out. But
yeah. I mean, hopefully whatever team you're part of, and I think this coincides with a team that, like, you want to, like, hang out and party with, I think they would be supportive of whatever, like, decision you made.
Yeah.
I think that comes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like, I was just, because my roommate is on AMP, and they're also, like, in my section and region. So I was, like, watching them hang out on the sidelines at, like, sectionals and regionals this past year, and they just all seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. And then also simultaneously, they're a really fucking good club team, and it's nice to watch. Yeah
I mean, I think I got really lucky with the team that I found, because I fit their vibe almost exactly. Like, so versus some other teams, like, we follow them on Instagram and stuff, and it's like, okay, like, we see them hanging out, but, like, the day that we're having brunch and drinking mimosas and, like, playing games, drinking games and stuff, like, they're watching film, they're watching Exist's game at regionals, and we were like, yeah, can't relate. So
I mean, but you're getting what you want out of Ultimate from
exactly.
For some people, Ultimate is just like a social thing. For some people, they take it really seriously and competitively. Maybe they get too competitive and rip up grass. Who knows? Who could I be referring to? I think you and I also touched on this earlier when we did our little pre-podcast talk. That, like, partying with your team can make you, quote unquote, that team. You could speak on this more because you're the one that's actually experiencing this, but you said that your team can get a little rowdy at league.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly just, like, I don't think we do. I think I'm being self-conscious because I'm also, like, standing on the sidelines with a White Claw in my hand, and, like, Charlie's, like, right behind me, and I'm like, hey, boss. Like, yes, I am drinking every time you touch the disc. Because, like, we're watching Charlie's game, and I'm like, all right. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm really glad I'm on this team, because if I was, I mean, this is also just my personality. Like, if I was on the equivalent level mixed team that, like, also had a lot of people in the same fall league, and like we just like heckled them, I wouldn't like those players because I'd be like, why are they heckling me? Like, what's up with them? Why do they think they're so good? And then versus like me being on the other side, I'm like, oh, haha, this is fun because like we do this. Like the other team doesn't heckle us, but maybe that's just their personalities. I don't know.
I think everyone needs a little heckling. Like, I personally think, my friends, if you are a listener and I don't know you, do not heckle me. But I think my friends, like at the Lehigh Valley League, where it's just 4 teams that rotate and play each other every week, like they were heckling me a little bit yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to take this so seriously. We're all just having fun here.
Yeah.
And then I flip them off, and it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm always like, if you can't make fun of yourself, like, first of all, I don't really want to hang out with you. Second of all, then you can't make fun of me. Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah, if I can't roast you, then you can't roast me back, or vice versa. And we touched on this a little bit, but the other like issue with club teams and partying can be that age gap that we talked about, especially if you're one of those teams that has like 18-year-olds and stuff,
like college kids.
Like, people aren't always gonna be comfortable drinking with underage people. And then also, like, it's just weird, like I mentioned before, sometimes like there's a cultural difference between like someone who's 22 and someone who's 40 years old. Like, you're not gonna get all the same stuff. And also you just might be on different levels. Like, I might come in hot and then the rest of the people on the team are not into partying that hard.
Yeah, us college. Well, I remember when I was on, we went out and I was still in college, and if like, and I like was being a college kid, and everyone was like, dude, it's not the vibe. And I'm like, okay, right. I have to adjust appropriately.
Yeah.
But
it's a great time to practice that adjustment period, but sometimes it's just different vibes. And
it's good for work too, because, now I go out with coworkers and I have to be a completely different person. Not different person, but like I have to watch my behavior more than if I'm with like people on my Frisbee team. Because like those are genuine friends versus like work friends. You don't really need to be as silly.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't had that experience. I don't know if I'm lucky or not. Drinking with coworkers, really. For people that don't know about my job history, I got my current and only postgraduate job January 2020. So I had a hot 2 months in the office before I've been living this remote work lifestyle, which I still don't know if I like or not, to be honest. But like week 3 of my job, the company was like doing this sales and consulting conference where they basically throw like a big 3-day party for all the sales and consulting people, because we're the people that make the company money. They like actually generate the revenue. So week 3 of this job, and I am in Nashville, Tennessee, trying to figure out how to drink around a bunch of like people that will be in my professional life when I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
And that was like the most stressful. I ended up like the first 2 days, I didn't really drink much at all and I was fine. The 3rd day, I didn't eat dinner and then had vodka Red Bulls. And we ended up at a karaoke bar. It ended up okay. I made it out alive. But
I'm sure you felt bad the next day.
I was actually okay.
Wow. Impressed.
I am resilient. But yeah.
Yes. All right, that's all that we have time for you guys today. That's all that we have in terms of content for both hanging out with your club team, that awkward transition of being a 20-something-year-old and hanging out with like real adults, capital R, capital A.
Trademark at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And
for future content.
Yes, for future content. We've got some fun interviews coming up. We will definitely be talking to Pocket's roommate about his experience at his first ever club nationals with AMP.
Amp is gonna win, baby. Actually, we should do a bet on the result of the mixed nationals finals.
I like a bet.
I bet that our good old friends Amp is gonna win it all, take home the title, third year in a row.
I think it's a good bet.
Do you want to bet that Amp doesn't win, or are you gonna pick a team?
I'll pick a team. I feel like if Amp doesn't win, that's too broad. You're screwing yourself. So, I guess I'll just pick mixtape. Seems like
Just gonna pull it out.
yeah. Just pull it out of a hat. We totally didn't do research on this before.
We didn't research and re-record this outro, and now we're trying to play it off like it's real time. Damn, yes. I couldn't hold in the laugh. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're gonna do the Amp. Ooh, okay. Now this is genuine. Like, just came up with this on the spot. What if it's an Amp mixtape final?
Double or nothing.
Oh, but we already came up with the terms for the bet, though. Yes. The original terms for the bet were going to be the loser has to write a rap about the other, and then if Amp or mixtape does not win, if they both don't win, then we would both create a rap about each other. But if they're both in the final,
double or nothing, you have to shotgun and post a video of it, like shotgun in your shower and take a video of it. Because I'm not going to shotgun like anywhere else in my apartment. I'm going to do it in the shower, but we're going to suffer.
Okay, I'm not going to do it in the shower, but yeah, okay. We have to shotgun and post a video about it. Mine's going to suck.
Yes, mine is too.
No, not a shotgun, because that's less entertaining to watch. Dizzy bat.
I don't have room for that.
Do it outside. Do it in Central Park. New York City is your backyard.
Fine.
Yes.
I'll agree to that.
Do it at League.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm not going to do mine at League because people take my League a little too seriously. But I can I'll get Pharaoh to film it.
Yeah, I'll have a cameraman.
Cool. All right. So you heard it here first. Terms of the bet. Amp wins. Scotti writes a rap about me. Mixtape wins. I write a rap about Scotti. If it's an Amp versus mixtape final, loser posts a Dizzy Bat video.
What if neither wins? Do we just ice ourselves?
No, then we just do raps about each other. Then we get two waps. We got two waps.
Okay. Works for me. I would shake on it, but you're in Pennsylvania, so.
Let's just, touch each other through the screen. Ooh. Little ASMR action on the mic.
Perfect.
Just kidding. All right. So,
good stuff.
That's it for the main episode. Catch us in the PS zone. I'm going to just talk a little bit more about coaching women's college ultimate and my experiences.
Yeah. And aside from that, you can keep up with us on Twitter at Laying It Out with underscores between the words, Instagram, where we struggle to be active yet appreciate the follows anyway, with periods between the words. And you can also email us anytime at layingitout@multiworld.com. For now, I've been your host, Scotti Dempsey.
I'm Chelsea Pockets.
And we'll catch you on the flip. In our last episode, we mixed up the Metro East region with is it region or is it conference? Fuck. Dude, we're gonna have to retake this whole thing.
Pause. Lindsay, don't listen to this.